Welcome to Speakeasy Spirits. It's summertime. Here in the US, it's almost 4th of July, so let's take a look at some refreshing summertime drinks using all-American ingredients. Our all-American spirit today is going to be this Laird's Bottled in Bond Applejack. This is an apple brandy that they've been making in New Jersey for the past 200 years. When I want a refreshing summertime cocktail, I might go straight for a mule. This could be a Moscow Mule using vodka, a Tennessee Mule using bourbon. Today we're going to do a New Jersey Mule using this Laird's Bottled in Bond Applejack. First we're going to need half an ounce of lime juice. Add that to our shaker tin. An ounce and a half of Applejack. Now this is 100 proof, so it does have a bit of a kick. To that we're going to add 3 dashes of this Fee Brothers Black Walnut Bitters. I went with the black walnut because I thought it would pair well with the apple flavors. Add some ice. And shake. Once you feel the tin's getting cold, you can strain that into our copper mug. Mules are traditionally served in a copper mug, but you could use a pint glass, a Collins glass, whatever you've got handy. Add some more ice to that. And top it off with ginger beer. And there you have our New Jersey Mule. That's really refreshing. The ginger beer I used has a little bit of spice to it, but it's balanced out well with the sweetness of the Applejack. The lime adds a bit of a tartness. All in all, it's a very balanced, refreshing cocktail. Great for a summertime party. For our next all-American cocktail, we're going to make a simple classic, the Jack Rose. Let's start with an ounce and a half of our Applejack. Add that to a shaker tin. Then 3/4 of an ounce of lemon. And half an ounce of grenadine. I'm using a homemade grenadine. This is simply pomegranate juice and sugar cooked down into a syrup. Homemade is great. There are some really good store-bought grenadines out there. I would try to avoid the bright red neon grenadines. Rose's grenadine typically is just corn syrup, food color, and some flavoring. So you can see this is a darker red. That's what you want to look for in a good grenadine. Add ice to our shaker. And give it a good shake. Now we're going to strain that into our coupe. And for garnish, how about a lemon wheel? And there you have the classic Jack Rose. It's tart, it's refreshing, you get subtle notes of the apple, the lemon coming through, the grenadine's just enough to sweeten it up, but still keep it pretty balanced. It's a really good cocktail, one of the classics to use with Applejack. The Jack Rose is good, but pomegranate isn't a summer fruit. So let's do my variation on that. We'll swap out our grenadine for strawberries. So let's start by cutting the stem off of our strawberry. And we'll cut that into quarters. Now, take your 4 pieces of strawberry, drop those into a glass, and add 2 sugar cubes. Now, you could also use a strawberry syrup if you have one. Just cook down some strawberries, some sugar, and water. But since we don't have strawberry syrup, we're just going to muddle these in and make a quick syrup of our own. Now, this is a case where you want to mostly pulverize the fruit. Now to that, we're going to add 1.5 ounces of Applejack. And 1/2 ounce of lemon. Now cutting back a little on the lemon in this one, the traditional Jack Rose had 3/4 ounce. 1/2 ounce is going to balance the strawberry a lot better. So to that, add your ice. And give it a good shake. Now we're going to want to double strain this into a coupe glass. So get your strainer and a fine mesh strainer. We want to try and remove as much of that strawberry particles as possible. Get a nice clear drink. And for a garnish, let's take another strawberry, cut a slice, and put it on the rim. There you have our strawberry Jack Rose. That's really good. The strawberry comes through strong. It's not overly sweet. You could even go with a 3rd sugar cube if you wanted it a little sweeter. I like the way the tartness of the strawberry and the lemon balance out the apple flavors. You still get some of the oaky notes of the Applejack. This is a really good summer cocktail. Bring this out to your barbecue and your guests will be very happy. And for our last cocktail, let's try a classic whiskey sour, but using the Applejack. Let's start with a rocks glass with 1 large cube of ice. To a shaker, we're going to add 2 ounces of our Applejack, 1 ounce of lemon juice, a dash of our walnut bitters, and 1/2 ounce of simple syrup. This is just a 2-to-1 simple syrup. You can usually find it at local liquor stores, or you can make it yourself. It's just 2 parts sugar to 1 part water. Now you could stop there and have a really good sour, but a lot of sour recipes call for egg white. Since a lot of people don't care for eggs in their cocktail, we're going to use a product called Fee Foam. This is a special cocktail foaming agent. It's vegan, it's all natural, has no scent, no flavor, and just a couple of dashes will add the foam that we need to this cocktail. So let's do 3 dashes of Fee Foam. If you can't find this in your liquor store, you can buy it on Amazon. It's only a few dollars, and since just a couple of dashes will foam just about any drink, it's a great value. Now we're going to dry shake this, which means shaking it without ice first. This will help generate the foam. When you're dry shaking, you want to make sure to hold your container together Without the chilling of the ice, you don't get a vacuum seal on the container, and it may come apart and make a huge mess. So now that you've got some foam in there, let's add our ice. And give it another shake. The second shake is just to chill it and get a little dilution. Now we're going to strain that into our rocks glass over our big cube. You can see it's got a nice head of foam there. And there you have our Applejack Sour. It's really nice. It's sweet, it's tart. The simple syrup really brings up the apple flavor, but it still has the traditional notes that a whiskey sour would have from the barrel aging. This is really good. How about we do a bonus cocktail? I happen to have a bottle of red wine here, and a traditional variation on a whiskey sour is a New York sour, which tops it with a float of red wine. So let's take half an ounce of red wine. This is a locally produced red from Tiger Mountain Vineyards here in Georgia. Now to float, you could pour this over the back of a spoon. This is also another handy use for your bar spoon. If you slowly pour it down and keep the flat end in the drink, it will spread out nicely. And there you can see we've got a slight line of red here right underneath the foam, but on top of the Applejack Sour itself. That adds a whole new dimension to this drink. The tannins of the red wine mixed with the apple and the lemon really bring it to life. It's very refreshing. It's a great summer drink. A good alternative for you whiskey drinkers if you happen to have a bottle of Applejack around. Highly recommend trying this one. And there you have some great ideas for your summertime barbecues, some Applejack cocktails using all-American ingredients. We got 5 cocktails out of these 4 glasses. From a New Jersey Mule to a classic Jack Rose, to our strawberry Jack Rose variation, to an Applejack Sour, and then a new Jersey Sour. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to give us a like and subscribe. We'll see you next time.